Next up, at UFC 303, we have a couple of heavyweights on two different career trajectories right now. We got Andrei Arlovski taking on Martin Buday. Andrei Arlovski, former heavyweight champion of the world. 34-23 in his career. 2-3, though, in his last 5, and he is on that 3-fight losing skid. He's taking on Martin Buday, 13-2. 4-1 in his last 5, coming off a brutal first loss in the UFC. Andrei Arlovski, if you guys are newer fans, you're the COVID crew, you don't know how terrifying this guy was. When he was the champion 20 years ago, this was an insanely terrifying human being. He was that next generation of heavyweight that wasn't like some lurchy sloth goblin. He was jacked, he was big, he was fast, he had grappling, he had power, he had all the skills, all the tools, a sick mouthpiece with some fangs in it. This guy was...
He still wears that.
I know, but when you're getting knocked out and submitted, it's not nearly... Yeah, it's not nearly what it was. I watched him fight at UFC 55, live at Mohegan Sun. I went there, UFC 55. We're at 303.
Can you see my face?
We can see it. This was 19 years ago. He was the heavyweight champion of the world. He knocked out Paul Buentello almost instantly. I also watched Chael Sonnen fight on that card. I forget who he fought. Was it
steroids?
Was it Babalu? I think he fought Babalu. He fought
drug tests.
Anyway, that's how long Andrei Arlovski has been around. And he's accomplished quite a few things. World heavyweight champion. He bounced around between organizations. He's fought everybody anywhere near his weight class for the last 20 years. He's a very skilled fighter.
What flag is that?
Belarus. For the last 20 years. He's got solid offensive striking. He's got good defense. He's got submission. He has all the skills. He's 45 years old. And heavyweights have a much longer career than some of the other weight classes, but 45 is 45, and he is finally starting to show his age. There was a period in his career where he was chinny as shit. And then all of a sudden, his chin was like fine.
It's kind of a big country.
Belarus?
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a small country. It's kind of a big fucking country. It's bigger than Lithuania, Latvia, and whatever this is, all combined.
Oh, it's bigger than Latvia? Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's almost as big as fucking Poland.
Why don't you compare it to something in America?
Okay, it's... Let me look
the
at
same
this.
side as Rhode Island.
No, it's like the same. It looks like it'd be from Ohio to fucking Louisiana. It's a big country, man.
There you go. He's an excellent fighter whose body is just starting to give up on him. He's starting to slow down a little bit. That chin is starting to go. And he hasn't had power for a very long time, which is surprising because power is the last thing to go. He's taking on Martin Buday. Martin Buday can be powerful. He can be a big, powerful striker with heavy hands. He has 11 stoppage wins in his career. He averages almost 6 significant strikes landed per minute, so he is moving forward. He is throwing his hands. He is making stuff happen. He can be hittable himself, and he can be a little bit of a slow starter, but once he gets going, he absolutely gets going. He's coming off that TKO loss to Shamil Gaziev, where just the forward pressure, he had an eye issue. He just got broken in that fight. But he is standing across the cage from, yes, an absolute legend, but a legend who has lost a little bit of the oomph. A legend who isn't nearly as dangerous as he was 5 years ago, let alone 19 years ago. I think Martin Buday moves forward, stays in Andrei's face, probably beats him in a decision, but I would not be shocked with a finish here. Andrei Arlovski, 3 losses in a row. 2 of them are pretty quick, bad finishes, and Martin Buday is a finisher. I got to go Martin Buday here. I understand who Andrei Arlovski is. I have nothing but respect and appreciation for him, but I just do not see him winning this fight. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I kind of see the same. And somebody mentioned this in the chat, and I kind of noticed it too. I guess a little bit on Andre, but Martin Buday's nipples are very small. It's honestly very, very weird. Because usually the big guys like you, I mean, it's like...
No, mine are small. No, you're not going to do that. All right, go ahead. This is already
what's floating in the
stream.
pool? Is that a lily pad? Those things bubble up. Yeah, Martin Buday is probably the play here. He seems like he's a durable guy, even though against Shamil, he kind of got the shit beat out of him. He kind of quit in that fight, but his eye was pretty fucked up. And honestly, he almost made it to the point where he was probably going to end up beating Shamil, right? Because we've seen Shamil slow down. That's one of the reasons why I picked against Shamil against Jairzinho. Shout out Jairzinho, huh, buddy? There's a reason why because Shamil was going to gas out. It's too bad that Buday couldn't weather that storm because he was going to start to gas, but he took that ass beating for as long as he could. His eye was busted up. He shouldn't have that type of pressure in front of him with Andrei Arlovski, right? I mean, Angelo nailed it. This guy's old. He's kind of that guy at some point. You know, this is probably going to be, I imagine, his retirement fight. I think people were talking about him and Cub. This is the first time they've been able to fight in front of fans for a little bit, I believe. And I think Andre was in. Well, he lost to. Oh no, that wasn't Andre. But I think it's the first time they've been in front of fans. So this could be a retirement moment for him. It probably is not going to end well, I imagine. Obviously, he's shown that he can just turn on the random durability, and maybe he's able to sneak this out. But I gotta go with Martin Buday here. I think he can just weather whatever storm comes and land enough strikes to win the decision, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and I think there's some good value at minus 260. Obviously, Andre can win a decision. He was just on a 5-fight decision win streak before this 3-loss losing streak. He was just cruising through people, but that was a different class of fighter, and I don't have the record in front of me, but if I go looking at those fighters, half of them probably aren't even in the UFC anymore. He was just outworking them with jabs and forward movement. That's not going to work with Martin. Martin does have power. He will move forward, and age is, unfortunately, a bitch in this sport. So I do think Andrei Arlovski loses this fight. I also don't think Martin Buday is necessarily worth the $9,100. He certainly can win by finish. Andrei's been finished in 2 of his last 3 fights. But in all reality, he's probably pitter-pattering, moving forward, just staying busy. Andrei's going to do some cage clinching, stuff like that. I don't know if he's going to finish. I'm not going to spend the $9,100. I think there's some other opportunities where I'm almost positive there will be a finish and certainly some more wrestling. But if you do want to unlock the picks, the bets, I do have a bet on this fight, the round line leans, and more. The artificial intelligence, the DraftKings plays, and more. The prize picks, the underdog, the FanDuel, and more. You can do so right now. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It's freaking $10 a month. Not only is it a phenomenal way to support us, it's also an unbelievable way to get everything you have ever needed heading into a fight weekend. We do have a super chat from our man Angel. Angel says, enjoy your trip, guys. Well deserved. Jacob worked that Portuguese with the mamacitas.
Yeah, appreciate that, Angel. We've already got, me and Angel have been doing lessons
Spanish?
4, 5, 6 hours basically every night. Through the night, I've been grinding 3 or 4 a.m. So we've got Spanish locked down. You know, tengo gato los pantalones. And, working on that Portuguese. I think this is going to be I think I'm going to open Angelo's eyes too. When I hit those streets and that thing just starts pouring out, that beautiful, lovely, romantic language, I start batata this and batata that. Angelo's going to be pretty shocked, right? I mean, because you're a multilingual, from a multilingual family, so I think you're going to be pretty impressed.
What's funny is I saw a video on TikTok, and it was like a guy with a thick Southern accent. And he had a dog, like a rescue dog. And he's like, this whole time I thought this dog was stupid. Turns out he speaks Spanish. And he's like, come here, boy. And the dog did nothing. And then he's like, Kamate. And the dog's like, sit the tay. And just saying Spanish like that. Yeah. Like that. And the dog's like doing it all. And it was just like, how is that dog understanding? Like, I get those are the words, but that accent is nuts. And I imagine that's what your Portuguese is going to be. It's the words with just whatever stupid ass Midwest,
every time I've ever spoke
having
Portuguese
accent
on here,
you've got going on.
Everyone's like, "Wow, that's actually pretty good accent."
Yeah,
I don't talk like that.
Because of the new teeth. With Adam, you did the gumming and weird whistles.